Trump wants.
Shalom. Kohalo Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rekah HaKradash. Shalom and salutations and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who I continue to learn this 100% truth from. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Barakatham, they rule well. Shalom to the elder bishops, the elders, the prophets, the teachers, and evangelists, and the brothers who are out here teaching and pushing this 100% truth. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Barakatham to you. Shalom to the speckled bird, the confused face, the Akim and Aqua, the Akim on the highways and byways, and last but not least, the elect. And just, looking through TikTok, I'm always looking for videos to, around this time of the day, looking for videos to use to teach, to bring out scriptures, to filter what's going on with these videos with the scriptures. It also helps me learn the scriptures as well. And just grateful that Yahweh Bashan Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, has allowed me to understand what I do understand so far, but ultimately putting me around the right people that he has raised up, as the scriptures say, to be prophets to teach the children. I would like to consider myself as one of those children, but not in age, but in spirituality. I'm just grateful for what the Lord has done in waking me up, that I can go out and do the same thing by doing the best that I can to draw in the elect with the knowledge that was given to me, with the gifts that was given to me. And this guy right here is a veteran sergeant. Sergeant. And he's just going into a little bit about the moves that DJ Trump's making. And, it's getting real out here, man. I mean, ultimately, whether it was him or somebody else said it, but they want to see blood in the streets. And they're going to see it soon. We're coming into that time. So I'm going to let this video play, and I will rock the side in between time, or even at the end, I'll get some scriptures. So check it out.
Trump wants blood in the streets of Washington, D.C. This weekend, he ordered hundreds of West Virginia National Guard troops into the Capitol. And I'm hearing from my friends in watchdog groups that he's pushing governors in states like Ohio, Tennessee, South Carolina, Mississippi, and Louisiana to do the same. Now, let me be clear, this is very different from part-time soldiers policing their own neighborhood. This is out-of-state troops being rushed into D.C. with Trump demanding that they carry firearms, even if they haven't qualified to use them. That's not about crime, it's not about order, it's about optics, it's about power. Now, before I go any further, I want to be clear, I don't think that Trump is sitting in a room carefully planning this out several steps ahead. He's not a strategist. He's reactive. Trump has always acted on pure instinct. He absorbs the Fox News alternative reality the same way that his millions of supporters do. And then he reacts to that delusion as if it were the truth. That's why scholars call what he does authoritarian impulse. He's just acting on impulse. He's following the authoritarian playbook, not
Look that word up, authoritarian impulse.
because he studied it, but because it's who he is. What we're watching this weekend is the next stage of Trump's militarization of the United States. The pattern is familiar. Incite fear, declare a crisis, militarize the response, and then frame resistance as extreme. He's not trying.
This is 1 John 3 and 13. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hates you. And the world hates us. You can go to Psalms 83 and read from the second verse on down. The world hates you, Israel. They can't stand you. And they want to see you destroyed.
To protect D.C., he's manufacturing a confrontation between uniformed men with rifles and the people of that city, so that he can claim that he's the only one who can restore order. This is a test run. a rehearsal for how he can use out-of-state troops to project power into any Democratic-led city or state. And here's the really dangerous part, the split in how Americans even see what's happening right now. Writer Evelyn Quartz calls this the war over what's real. People in my information...
That's right, because what's real is that the truth is there's a war on Israelites. We have our own people who's warring with us, and we have Esau who's about to get ready to run down on us. And the sad thing is that 2/3 of our people don't even realize that there's a people who hate us and they're at war with us. But don't fear. This is Deuteronomy 30:7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And aren't they persecuting us? They are. They're using warlike tactics on us. They're harassing us in our neighborhoods, and it's going to get worse because right now heavy violence hasn't taken place yet, but it's going to act off soon. It's going to be agent provocateurs who are going to set off a lot of these things that's about to happen, because there's a time frame and they need to get things rolling, and they're moving forward like they would like, but they want to get things rolling. Listen up.
Ecosystem. See Trump's actions for what they are, a dangerous authoritarian occupying the capital of the United States. But people immersed in Fox News and other Trump-aligned media see something else entirely, a strongman restoring order. Same events, two different realities. And that's the point. If you control perception, even if it's for half of America, you don't need facts. Whistleblowers inside the Guard have been telling watchdog groups that commanders are rushing troops through weapons qualifications so that they can hit the streets armed. For context here, I'm a former U.S. Army sergeant and combat veteran, and it's based on that experience that I'm telling you how dangerous this is. It is unacceptable for soldiers who haven't proven proficiency with their weapons to be pushed through ranges just to get rifles slung across their chest.
So what is that telling you? He's telling you that there's a lot of novice, what do you call them? Warriors or novice soldiers that are going to come out and they're not properly trained on how to use their weapon or to deal with Jake in general. So someone's going to get hurt eventually, because everybody's acting up an impulse, pretty much like DJ Trump is. So, eventually when you act off your emotions, bad things happen, man. This is Job 8:22. They that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. So even though Trump is putting his moves on Jake in DC, and it's gonna branch off from the west to the east and from the north to the south, it won't matter, because this is all prophecy, and at the end of the day, Israel wins. Or at the end of Esau's rulership, Israel wins. Read 2nd Esdras 6:9. I'm gonna let it continue.
Especially on the streets of the United States of America. This is not about readiness. This is about optics. It's about projecting Trump's control of the Capitol by force. And here's the risk. Troops brought in from out of state or out of the district may view DC residents not as neighbors, but as hostiles, because that's the lens that right-wing media gives them. That's how civilians become enemies in the eyes of soldiers. I've also heard, but haven't yet confirmed, that many of these out-of-state units are infantry and cavalry. That matters. I was in an infantry unit my entire time in the Army, including during my deployment to Iraq. And one of the lessons every veteran of the global war on terror knows is this, that combat units are not suited for police work. You can give us a day of training on de-escalation, but you can't just flip a switch and turn warfighters into law enforcement. They spend most of their time training to engage the enemy, not protect constitutional rights. And Trump knows exactly what he's doing, what risks he's creating. With every armed guardsman deployed into D.C. from outside the district, the risk grows of a Kyle Rittenhouse type incident.
You see that? Trump is sending soldiers out to act like they're doing police work, and they're not trained to do police work, as this man is saying. They're trained to engage in killing and destroying the enemy before them. So what do you think they do when they see Jake? And they already hate Jake because they're Esau. He can't wait for Trump to give him that sign or that signal or that green light to say, start killing. We're about to, our people about to get slaughtered out here, man. And it's sad because y'all not paying attention to what's really going on. Y'all still want to go out and hang out. I've seen a couple of videos. I'll bring them out. These cops are just rolling up on these young brothers. I'm not going to say young brothers. These young men, Jake men, while they outside, most likely in front of their home or somewhere in their neighborhood. And they're not doing nothing that I see. But at the same time, I'm not taking sides, anything like that, because whatever Yahweh Shah says is that's the way it's going to be, and so I understand that. So therefore, I'm not putting myself in a position where I'm going against Yahweh Shah or his son Yahweh Shah. It's just that our people are about to be destroyed, and 2/3 of our people have no clue about what's happening, man. This is Leviticus 26:17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. And this is what they have been doing. These young Jake, they've been fleeing. But they've been fleeing, but Esau has been pursuing them, and he's going to continue to keep pursuing them, because now he's looking for what they call it. He's looking for that smoke. They want to press Jake so bad, and Yahweh Shah is gonna give him the green light soon.
Trained soldier panicking, firing on protesters, and unaliving Americans. If that happens, it won't just be a tragedy, it'll be a catalyzing event. People fed up with Trump will flood the streets across the country. Trump will then have all of the excuses that he needs to expand the crackdown, sending more troops into more democratic cities. That's how escalation works. That's the authoritarian playbook. And we've seen this before. In the 1920s and 1930s, Mussolini's black shirts and Hitler's brown shirts, they staged violence. Then they claimed only they could restore order. That's how fascism consolidated power. More recently, Putin did the same, manufacturing crises, then using them to centralize authority in Moscow. In 2014 and again in 2022, he fabricated threats to justify invasions of Ukraine. Chaos, militarization, conquest, all justified by a narrative of protection. Trump is using the same playbook right here in America. So why is this happening now? First, Trump's losing legitimacy. Polls are sinking, his economy is crumbling, and his foreign policy failures are obvious. Second, he's staring down accountability in the courts and a likely Republican wipeout in 2026. Militarizing D.C. is his way of projecting strength and intimidating opponents. Third, he's leaning on decades of Republican propaganda about Democratic crime cities. Crime in D.C. is at historic lows, but that doesn't matter. The perception of lawlessness is what justifies the crackdown in the eyes of these people. And here's the bigger danger: normalization. D.C. was uniquely vulnerable because of home rule. Its leaders don't have the same power as governors to resist federal intervention. That made it Trump's easiest target. But if he succeeds here, he'll expand the model elsewhere. You've already seen him in Los Angeles, but he'll go to New York, Chicago, Philadelphia.
Yeah. All over the country. It's going to spread. This has been coming out a lot. I'm going to read it. This is Luke 1:71. It reads, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Because there are people that hate us. And who is that? That's the Roman Empire, which is Esau's empire being reincarnated and coming back as America. America. Luke 21:17. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. That's Yahushua speaking, letting you know that if you follow him, you follow his doctrine, you follow in the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, that you're going to be hated. You're going to be hated for the name Yahweh. You're going to be hated for the name Yahushai. You're going to be hated because you are an Hebrew Israelite and you don't want to be black, or you're not a black person and you recognize that. That's why you're going to be hated.
Once Americans accept troops in their streets as ordinary, the authoritarian project has already succeeded. Here are 3 things you can do now to go on offense for democracy. First up, baseline resistance. Don't give up on democracy. Contact your representatives and tell them not to hand long-term control of D.C. to Trump. Demand statehood for D.C. You wouldn't want out-of-state troops policing your town, and no American should have to accept that. Number 2, preparations. Build resilience. Start anti-fascist book clubs. Study Task Force Butler's community response and street team guides.
This is Psalms 83:2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They're proud. And this is Trump. Trump is proud about making the moves that he's making. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to let him wreak havoc on Jake. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be nothing that we can do about it. So I say this. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, yea. Gather together, O nation, not desired. Stop thinking that these people love you or care for you or into you. You see what they're doing in D.C. They're strictly dealing with only Jake. They're messing with Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They're not dealing with nobody else. Nobody else is being harassed in the city. They're only harassing Jake. Pay attention to what's going on, man.
Build networks of trust, train together, and prepare to resist authoritarian violence. Number 3, active measures. Impose costs. This doesn't mean violence. It means lawful disruption and civil disobedience. Organize mass protests that overwhelm the system. Lawfully expose the logistics of ICE and Guard deployments. Boycott businesses profiting from this occupation. And focus accountability where it belongs, on the governors, generals, and political leaders ordering this crackdown. This is not a drill.
It's not a drill, man. This is for real. It's my last scripture right here. Exodus 23:22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. But the only ones the Lord is going to protect and fight for and look after is his elect, his remnant. Everybody else, he don't care for them. They have to be reincarnated because they are no good to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to this cause.
Trump is testing us. If we normalize soldiers in our streets, democracy is already gone. We can't afford to sit back. We must resist. We must prepare. And we must go on offense.
And you must not, Israel, get involved. Comply to what these devils is telling you to do and stay out the way, because a lot of other Jake is going to be destroyed for it, man. And that's just the will of the Most High. I will rock to say you were edified. I'm going to say, Koholo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKradash, Shalom, and salutations again, double honors to the elder apostles GMS on down. They rule well, and Shalom to the elect. Shalom.